Welcome and thanks for joining me here. We're talking about be still and know. And this is just a little introduction to help you understand the mechanics, why we're doing what we do in the meditation itself. And it all starts with the equation for manifestation. 1 + 1 = 3, right? And so we're talking about yin and yang coming into harmony. We're bringing yin and yang, the two forces, into harmony within ourselves, the divine feminine, divine masculine. So here we have the divine feminine, receiving bed, the divine masculine coming together. This is the subconscious soul. This is the superconscious spirit coming together, the polarities coming together within ourselves, harnessing the harmony of yin and yang within ourselves. And what does it do? It gives birth to the child. It gives birth to form, manifestation in the phenomenal world. Remember, anything that manifests in this world, in this vibrational realm, remember, everything is a torus. We talked about this many times, sacred torus, the flow of energy from atom to cosmos, as Mr. Bentoff put it. So everything is this energetic pattern. There's an energy pattern behind everything, whether it's an atom, a cell of our body, a human being, the earth, a galaxy. It all looks like a sphere, and there's this energy flow within the sphere, energy coming out and energy returning. It's a cycle, the white hole, the black hole. And we have a very particular, we're dealing with a particular slice of reality, like a realm of vibration right here. So, and this is just for instance, so the whole world that we perceive is just in a certain vibrational realm of this vibrational energy that is infinite, from DC to light. And we experience a certain realm of that, right? Our eyes see, our eyes are filters, and they have a certain bandwidth from DC all the way out to, from direct current, zero vibration, all the way out to infinity. They see in a very, very, well, it's not even that big on the scale. They see in a very, very small bandwidth. Our eye sees in this range. Our ear, oh my God, I'm going to try and draw an ear, but basically our ear hears in that range. Our body, our sensory body touches and our smell and our taste also in certain ranges, but it's a very small range. And you know, like if we had a dog's hearing goes up a bit higher. They can hear sounds where we can't hear sounds. So everything is vibrational. We're constantly translating vibration into form. That's the forms we perceive in the world. And how do we do that? We do that through the principle of cymatics. And that's the scientific principle that says that frequency or vibration establishes form. If you take a certain frequency and you express that, what they do is they take in these cymatic tests. You can Google cymatics and you'll see some great information on that, some videos online of cymatics. And if you take a thin metal plate and you sprinkle dust or powder or sand on it, and then if you put a speaker, right, like from a sound system, you put a speaker underneath it and you play a sound up into that plate, causes the plate to vibrate. And if you play a pure tone of, let's say, A440, 440 cycles per second or hertz, a pattern will form, a very distinguished pattern will form on the plate. And if you play 440 again, it always provides the same form. If you change the frequency, or if you make it multiple frequencies, make it more complex, the pattern changes as well. What this means is frequency or vibration establishes form. So that's the principle through which the filters of our senses are actually translating the universal energy, the vibrational energy, the music of the spheres, the vibration of the universe into very specific forms that we see and we hear and we can touch. Okay, so coming back to our principle here, oops, we touched our soul up there. coming back to our principle here, we bring the two forces together of yin and yang, subconscious soul, superconscious spirit, stillness and light. And what does it do? It creates. It's the act of creation. It creates a reflection in the mirror of form that we can perceive with our senses, our physical senses. So we're talking here again about the ancient wisdom of be still, subconscious soul, yin. This is the yin nature, in harmony with bringing that together with and know. That's the yang. We bring yin and yang together in harmony within ourselves. And what does it do? It allows a new form, a birth of a new expression. The I am, the truth, the real you gets reflected in the mirror of form. The real you eternally is. The divine you, the infinite you, the unlimited you, the invincible you, eternally is. It's your beingness. This is your beingness. But remember the analogy, you want your beingness to shine through and reflect in the world of form. Remember the analogy of the movie projector, right? So we've got a light bulb shining through what? In a movie projector, there's a film, right? The film of mind. And on the film is imagery. There you are, happy, smiling. And what happens is that gets projected on the void, on the mirror of life, and you show up. There's a picture of you in the world. Very happy. So the light of being, the pure light of being, shining through the filter of mind, thought forms, bounce off the mirror of life, the projection on the void, and basically produce the experience of the phenomenal world of form. And again, the light of our being eternally is. The thoughts, the ideas, the desires of our heart are pictured in our minds. Better conditions, more improved life conditions for us in our families, in our communities, in our world. And we desire these. These are our heart's true desire. We imagine what our life could be like. And we don't just want to imagine it, though. We want to see it. We want to see it and experience, taste it, touch it. We want to experience it in the world of form. In order to get there, we need to bring these two forces together within ourselves, into harmony within ourselves. And that's what this is all about. Bringing together and harnessing the two forces of yin and yang, the divine masculine and divine feminine within ourselves, to come into harmony, into balance. Because what happens is when we bring them together in harmony, a portal opens, a doorway opens within us, and a light shines through. And that light is the light of our divine being. And that light reflects off the mirror of life, and we see in form, and we experience in form, in a tangible sense, the inner vibrational world that already is. Infinite possibilities of divine good already exist here and now. That's the quantum model of the universe. It's a non-linear model. And basically, becoming still and knowing, which is knowing thyself, remembering the truth, feeling it, seeing it, feeling it, being it, creates a new expression, a new creation. It's not really new in the sense that it already exists here in the world of energy. It already exists in the world of vibration, but we allow it to be expressed and reflected back to us in the mirror of life, in the mirror of form. That's what we want. That's what we want in life. We want to shine the inner light of our being so that we can experience that truth reflected in form. So if we look at this, what is this really? This is Be still. And we want to use the analogy of something we all have seen all our lives since we were children, and we continue to see. We see the act of creation and evolution unfolding before us all the time, And we see it in the raindrops, the water drops that we see in the ocean, in the ponds, in the streams, in the lakes, in the puddles in our driveway, in the puddles on the streets. There, right there before us, always has been a secret to this equation, a secret to this formula, to allowing greater manifestation of the real you, more and more of the fulfillment, the unfolding of the real you, which is the fulfillment of your heart's desire. And so what we have here is we've got be still. So what is that? That's like the surface of a pond. So let's say the first requirement is stillness. You know, you can imagine this is the surface of a pond. And you know that when there's no wind blowing, there's no waves, there's no turbulence, the pond surface becomes glass-like, it becomes mirror-like, it becomes perfectly still and serene, clear, and it reflects perfectly the sky above. And so that's what we want to do. We want to become still. Now, when we're not still, when our thoughts are jumping over here and over there and over here and over there and all over the place, and our emotions are in turbulence and turmoil. And what are emotions? Our emotions are the energy we set into motion. So when our thoughts are chaotic and our emotions are all over the place, what happens is we have all these waves. There's this wind and there's these waves and there's these currents and it's just chaos. And so there's no stillness. And so what you want to imagine is all of this just kind of settling down, quieting down, becoming still. And you can use the imagery of the surface of a pond just becoming still, all thoughts quieting down, all emotions quieting down. You're just entering the present moment. You're just entering the state of grace that is here and now. And so you become perfectly still and serene. That's the first condition. What happens here when you become perfectly still and serene? A doorway opens. Stillness is not necessarily the absence of motion, the absence of activity. You can carry stillness within you. You can carry peace and centeredness within you, even as you are very dynamic in doing the things you do every day. So whatever you may be doing, you want to be centered. You want to be present. You want to be here and now. You want to have stillness and a peace within you. It's kind of like a hurricane, right? A hurricane, that's not really a good drawing, but in the center, in the eye of the hurricane, in the eye of the storm, there's stillness while there's chaos and movement and dynamic activity, energy moving all around. You want to become the eye of the storm of your life, of your world. You want to be and you want to cultivate and find that still center within yourself. And when you do, something happens. Something unexpected happens. A doorway opens up. Instead of just knowing yourself as this little individual with a name and a history, that's who you think you are. That's your narrow band. You go wide band, you go broadband. And what happens is your awareness expands, and it expands up and out into the fullness of your being, the universal nature of the real you, what you truly are. And as a result of let's draw it this way over here. As a result of the individual, the very small little you, your body and your name and your history, as a result of you expanding out to your universal nature, you become one with all that is. You become one with the divine and everyone and everything. Again, it's like, remember we gave you the analogy before of the ocean of one. Imagine an ocean and it's vast without a shore. It goes out to infinity in all directions. And what's part of the nature of the ocean? There are waves upon its surface. And there you are smiling. Hey, that's you, and over here, that's me. I'm talking to you right now, and there's other people over here, and there's trees, and there's mountains, and there's flowers, and everything that's a thing, all forms are waves upon the surface of this infinite ocean. And when we're only here at the surface level of consciousness, we only see the surface of the ocean. We only can see that, then we see everything is separate and isolated and alone. Everything's knocking around and bouncing around. It seems to be chaotic. There's currents and swells and tides and winds, and it's just chaos up here. And everything is separate from everything else. But when we take the time to cultivate stillness, what happens? It's like we're this wave. Here you are, and you begin to sink down into the depths of your being. And as you do, what happens? It becomes more calm, becomes more serene. You begin to find more peace. Why? Because you're not tossed and turned about so much. Here on the surface, you've sunk down into the depths, the quiet, still depths of your being. And you begin to notice things. You begin to notice, wait a sec, I'm not really separate. I'm one with everything. The H2O, the energy that was filling my being, is the same water, the same energy that fills every other being. And in fact, all being is one being. All things are one. Remember the four fundamentals. All is one. Oops, can't spell. All is one. All is here. All is now. Why? Because all is good. God, divine presence, the omnipresence of divine being, the universal being, the infinite mind, wisdom, love, and intelligence, the one light, the one love, the one power. So when we learn to become still, we sink down to the depths of our being, and our awareness expands. Our awareness expands into the universal nature of our being. We begin to experience ourselves as the very landscape in which we live and beyond. We're one with everything. What happens when you feel yourself? You don't just think about it, but you feel, you sense a unity with all that is. A great peace comes over your being, a great calm. Why? Because there's no longer anything to fear. Why? Because there's no longer anything but you. You are one with all that is. There's nothing separate. And you are renewed in this light, in this universal presence. You are restored in the heart of love. You are renewed in the miracle of life. You see from a whole new perspective. And what does that do? That unifies you. Now you're one with the whole, this is the whole universe, or the multiverse, throughout all vibration, all dimension. However you want to hold it, it's all in all. It's everything. It's the divine cause, the source of all that is. Now, you as an individual have expanded. Now, you are one with all being, everyone, everything, the divine source. What's important about that? Well, number one, it brings about a profound sense of peace, a profound sense of love, a profound sense of a higher perspective, a higher view, a higher awareness of things, a truth, a deeper truth. That in itself is profoundly changing. But there's something else it does. It connects you with everything. So that your vibration, the vibration that you offer as an individual, is now elevated, and the vibration you offer here begins to be felt and expressed by the whole universe. So you need to be still first. You would think, stillness to the conscious, rational thinking mind. We're only at the level, the surface level of consciousness, when we're just stuck in a rational, analytical thinking mind, beta brainwaves, high beta. Stillness, practicing stillness, that's a waste of time. How can that help anything? How could cultivating stillness be a solution to anything you want in life? How can it help you achieve your goals? How can it help you realize your ambitions? How can it help you solve your problems? How can it help you fix what you see as broken in life? How can it help you at all? It seems to be just lazy. Really, it's foolish, being still. Come on. What you really need is you need to learn more, you need to acquire more knowledge, you need to work harder, you need to apply yourself more. That's what's going to get you somewhere in life. Now, that's because we only normally operate with form, trying to change and manipulate form. When we realize that we're also energy, that the whole universe is energy, everything is energy, that's the quantum model. That energy is never created nor destroyed, it just transforms. And that we can influence the energy of our being. And it's really the energy patterns that unfold, the ripples that unfold in the energy field, the universal field of life. When we realize that, then we will say, wait, being still, yeah, that's why it's an ancient wisdom, because it's the prerequisite to knowing thyself and seeing reflections of your true self in the mirror of life, seeing more of the love, the joy, the abundance, the prosperity, the genius, the creativity, the excellence, the radiance and brilliance of what you truly are, seeing more of that reflected in the mirror of life, and giving your highest gifts, giving what you came here to give. So on the surface level, yes, our surface minds and our parents and other people might argue, yeah, that's a waste of time, practicing stillness. But you're going to see how it's one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself, because it opens a door to the deeper you. And when it does, nothing is ever the same. And you're going to realize your abilities, your powers, your influence upon your personal experience of reality that you've just temporarily forgotten. We just forget these things. And again, you're an infinite being. I'm an infinite being. We're all infinite beings. So no matter what we think we know, we really know nothing, right? Let's say that, okay, here's a line out to infinity in both directions, right? So let's say we know this much, right? Like, that's a lot. Or let's say you're a genius, and instead of using 5% of your brain, you use 10% of brain, so you use that much. But what is that compared to infinity? Really, when you go out to infinity, no matter what we know, we still know nothing. So we want to always maintain a beginner's mind. We always want to be open like a child. We want to see the world through the eyes of the child, because that's when the world is magical. That's when miracles occur. Why? Because we're open and receptive to them. So being still is the practice. It's the first step in the ancient secret, in the ancient wisdom right here, bringing the harmonies of yin and yang together within ourselves. So when we first become still, become like a serene, still, calm surface of a pond. Then once we're there, we want to simultaneously cultivate that with the stillness, the knowingness, the rememberingness. Knowing what? Knowing thyself. Remembering thyself, thy true self, the divine you, the infinite you, the invincible you, the unlimited you. And so as your awareness expands, you begin to remember that unlimited you. And then you begin to what? In your imagination, you begin to see certain imagery, right? Remember we talked about cymatics? The vibrational essence of your higher states of awareness cause you to see certain forms. And you're going to feel them because you're going to be them in consciousness, in awareness, in energy. Remember, there's energy, and there's the reflection of that energy in the world of form and matter. So as you start to see and feel and be what your heart truly desires, your heart's true desire. Your heart's true desire. So as you're feeling that, as you're seeing it, you're imagining it, you're being it, you're there, you're living it, and you're in your beingness, in your mind, in your soul, in your spirit. And you're allowing that. What does that do as you feel that? It gives birth to a water drop. Okay? So it's the emotion, it's the energy that you set into motion through your thoughts and feelings that give birth to and grow. Look at that water drops growing. It's getting larger and larger and larger as you feel it more, as you're being it more, as you are it more. You're charging that water drop with a vibrational signature, with the light of your true self, with a vibrational essence or signature of the truth, of the real you. This is the real you, the true you. As you do that, what happens is you're feeling it, you're seeing it, you're being it. Why? Because your awareness is expanded, and your perspective is more true, it's more real, it's more whole. And what happens is, as you're feeling it, being it, just naturally, without you doing anything, the water drop reaches critical mass, and then what happens? Well, it falls to the surface of the pond, all by itself. And this happens all day long, all the time. You are in the process of creation and recreation all the time. It's not that 10 years ago something happened and you're stuck living with it now. It's that your thoughts and feelings, your beingness has been recreating the same vibrational essence day in, day out. You think the same thoughts. 95% of the thoughts you think today are the same ones you thought yesterday, last week, last month, last year. So until we change the way we're thinking and feeling, which changes who we're being, well, we can't expect the reflection in the mirror to change, right? That's like walking up to the bathroom mirror in the morning and you don't like the way your hair looks and you reach into the mirror to try and change the way your hair looks. That doesn't really change anything. In order to change the reflection, you need to change the source, which is you. In order to change what you're seeing and experiencing in your world, you change the source of that vibration, which is you. You are the light that shines forth. You are the vibration. You're constantly broadcasting your energy. It comes back to Mahatma Gandhi's wisdom. Be the change you wish to see reflected in the world. What does that mean? Become the vibration you wish to see bouncing off the mirror of life, coming back to you in the mirror of life. As you sow, so shall you reap. As you vibrate, so does it come back to you. As you think and feel, so do you experience in life. Sir Isaac Newton said it this way: for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And if quantum physics tells us, well, everything is really energy, the whole world is really energy that we perceive as forms, then for every action, which is what? Action implies the movement of something. Well, if there's only energy, well, the action implies the movement of energy. For every movement of energy that you send out, for every movement of energy that you send out, for every thought, feeling, vibration that you send out, there is an equal, like vibration, same frequency, and opposite, returning reaction, cause, effect. Nothing comes to us in life. Everything ultimately comes from us in life. So, cause, effect. We really look out there and we blame people and circumstances and say, you're the reason I feel this way. You're the reason I'm this way. And we can be justified based on past, but when we come down to the absolute truth and we no longer hide our light, we no longer pretend that we're not our true selves, we no longer pretend that we're not divine, that we don't have the spark of the divine within us and it's not omnipresent in its fullness everywhere, omniscience, omnipresent, omnipotence, that we're not part of that. When we wake up from this little individual and we realize our true nature, then we can't hide from this truth. Everything we sow, so shall we reap. For every action, there's an equal and opposite, same vibration coming back to us, reaction. It's just the law of life. It's just the principle of energy dynamics. So again, we can sit in our justification and blame people and circumstances and make ourselves a victim and continue to vibrate that same energy and see it reflected in our lives over and over and over again, just strengthen the lack, the limitation, the separation. Or we can say, hey, enough is enough. It's bad enough. It happened in the past. This pain, this suffering, this loss, it's bad enough. I choose not to contribute to it any longer. I'm going to become still. I'm going to become serene. I'm going to die into myself to be reborn again. I'm going to let go of who I thought I was. I'm going to get out of the way. I'm going to get all my subconscious programs and reactivities that I don't even know about. I'm going to sit in the fire of stillness and presence, and I'm going to burn those away. I'm going to let them dissolve. How? By simply not giving them my attention, by not reacting to them. When I no longer react to my subconscious, subliminal, subconscious programs, they no longer can survive in me because I no longer feed them with the light of my awareness, with the energy of my being, and they fall away all on their own. Why? Because ultimately they are shadows without substance. They are false evidence that only appears real. And when I let in the light of my being into the darkened corners of my mind, the light casts away the darkness, dissolves the shadows that never had any reality, that shadows without substance, and I am free. I am free in that light. I am free in this moment. I am free in that divine state of grace. So as we, coming back to our be still and know, as we see and feel and be the truth, the higher truth that we're realizing, that we're coming, that we're real. What is realizing? Realize means to see with real eyes, to open up our eyes finally again, and to remember the truth as we begin to see and feel and be that. The water drop. And what happens? That water drop falls to the surface of the still pond. We have dynamic stillness. We have the harmony of yin and yang within us. The harmony of yin. When we have dynamic stillness, when we are a brilliant silence, we are a powerful presence. Our very being becomes an illumined state of peace. And what happens is this water drop falls, and well, now you tell me what happens naturally without you doing anything. Remember, this is all energy. Perfect. The energy of the truth of your being, the true you, cultivated in the stillness, in the presence, in the poise, in the centeredness of your being, in the grace of the present moment. You are here, you are poised, you are present, even though you're very active and dynamic with what you do in life. When you carry this harmony and this balance, what happens? Creation happens. The ripples naturally unfold. That's the child is born. The ripples naturally unfold in the fabric of space and time, and the pattern unfolds. This pattern is carrying the vibrational signature, the vibrational light in essence of your true being. Through the principle of cymatics, it expresses itself in the mirror of form through the filter of your senses. So you get to see it, you get to experience it, you get to live it in life, real life, here, tangible life, here. It's what you came here for. What is the divine's one desire? It's to know itself in all its creation. It's to come into itself fully, consciously, and express its truth, its light in all its creation. Shining through every form, shining, radiating, revealing in a most magnificent way the unique embodiment of that form, because there's no two ever created alike. No two beings ever created on this planet right now or through all space and time in either direction. You are a unique embodiment of the one, and you are here with special talents, gifts, and abilities to shine in a way to complete the puzzle of life. Life is like a big, huge, infinite puzzle, all the little puzzle pieces. You're a puzzle piece. And you can look at a puzzle, even if it's got 5,000 pieces, and you can go, hey, wait, where's that puzzle? If it's missing one piece, if one piece drops off on the floor, you know it. It's not complete. Why? Because that one piece is not shining with its true radiance. It's not being authentic. It's not being its true self. It hasn't surrendered to the magic and the miracle of life. It's still trying to control, manipulate, and try and fight for what the scarce resources it sees as it just looks upon the surface of life. But this puzzle piece wants to shine. That's you. You want to be the real you, to give in a way that only you can give, to make a difference in a way that only you can make, to make the difference in life, to contribute to the causes, and to give in a way that you can only give your highest gifts when you are shining, when you are in harmony, when you are in unison, when you are in league with, when you have the power of the whole universe behind you, flowing through you, lighting you up. That's what you want, regardless of what you think. Cars, homes, finances, relationships, all of that is beautiful and all is wonderful, and you should want it in life. But none of those things will ever really fulfill you, because they're just reflections in a mirror. The only thing that's going to light you up is the shining forth of the real you. The real you. That's the only thing that's going to bring true fulfillment. And so cultivate, when you take the time out of your busy schedule to be still, to cultivate presence, poise in this moment, and you begin to feel with powerful emotion. The more emotion you use, the larger this water drop gets, and the more powerful the impact is going to be in terms of how it impinges upon and reflects in the mirror. Remember, this is space and time. Space and time, the unfoldment of the ripples in time. What are you doing? You're planting a seed. What is this? This is an acorn. You're planting a tiny little seed in vibration, but it's powerful. Why? Because as you plant it and hold it in your being, and it impinges upon the stillness of your being, you bring together this harmony within you of yin and yang, it turns into the mighty oak. This huge, gigantic tree, this little acorn expresses itself through the evolution of the ripples unfolding within the fabric of space and time. But you know it already is. It's full and complete. Your vision for what your heart's true desire is done. It is done. It is done. It is whole. It is complete. Why? Because infinite possibilities of divine good already exist. Where? Here and now. Infinite possibilities. Already here and now. All you're really doing is when you see it, you feel it, you be it, and you cultivate this dynamic stillness in your being, the harmonies of yin and yang. You are bringing together the forces of nature within you. And what you're really doing is you're tuning into, by seeing and feeling and being, you're tuning into what already exists in the infinite field of possibilities. It's like tuning the radio, the dial on your radio. So here's an old radio. I know most of us don't even use radios anymore, or your television set, your remote control on your TV. You've got your up and your down channel, right? What does your up and down channel do? It changes the frequency. It raises or lowers the frequency. What are you doing with your heart and mind when you're seeing it, feeling it, and being it? You are changing your frequency. You are tuning into a different realm of vibration right here, right now. Here you are. Here's your body. Here's your body. You're smiling. You're here now. There are thousands of programs of electromagnetic energy passing right through your body, existing right here, right now, in the same space, in the same time as you are. But you're oblivious to them. You don't experience them. You don't experience that Beethoven playing. You don't see all those programs, satellite, TV. You don't know anything about them unless you tune your receiver to receive them. If you tune your receiver to tune into the right vibration, you got to tune your radio dial. So here's your FM radio, right? And there's a whole range of channels. Now, right now, you may be in a place in your life because you're only looking outward. You're not really looking inward yet. And this is a reminder to turn within. You have to do what you're doing without, but you have one foot in this world and one foot in the outer world, one foot in the inner world. And you need to find balance. You're riding a bicycle. And basically, you want to start coming within and looking at the energy, the energetic nature of your being. So yeah, you need to take the outer action. You need to take the outer action in the world. We're not here to just sit on our couch and do nothing. We're here to play full on in life, to be in the game. So you take outer action, you do what you're inspired and motivated to do, based on the truth you feel in your heart and mind. Every action you take is based on what you think and feel. That's what makes you do what you do. But as you expand your awareness, what you think and feel is going to expand. It's going to change. It's going to become higher in vibration. It's going to become more universal in its nature. It's going to become more altruistic. It's going to become more for the benefit of all humanity. Whatever you see and feel and want for yourself, your heart's true desire, remember, see and feel and want it for everyone. Why? Because we are all one. We are one. There's only one of us here. So see and feel and want that for everyone and everything. So as you turn within and you're seeing and feeling and being it, you're tuning the dial on your radio ever so slightly. And all you know, right? You can go, shh, it's all just static and chaos and uncertainty and the unknown and no hope for the future. If you hear shh like that long enough, you keep looking outwardly, looking for the answer, forgetting that life is a mirror and the answer is within you. The changes without are really reflections of the changes within. If you keep looking without and you don't at the same time tune into the whole within you, the symphony, the one, because when you're tuned into the one, when you're still and you're connected, you're expanded, your awareness expands, You as an individual are informed by, motivated by, inspired by the whole. So now you as a single instrument in the symphony of life, you play in tune, in harmony with the whole, in the motion. Now you're a constructive element. You're a cooperative element in the unfolding of the new world. What's the new world? It's today. It's this moment. Yes, great changes are happening in our world, but it all boils down to this moment, here and now. Here and now, what is your vibration? Are you in harmony or not in harmony with the real you, with the magic of life, with the whole of being? Right? Because the real you, imagine here you are, again, we'll put another you up here smiling. Here's you, me, all of us. And we're a human form, of course, but we're a spirit as well. Now, the spark of the divine that's within you, the spark of the divine within you, if we take that spark of the divine away from you, out of you, we take your spirit out of you, what's left of you? What's left of you? Nothing. You return to the elements of the earth. All we are is dust in the wind, as Bill and Ted used to say, right? So, what's the real of you? What's real of you? What's the true you? It's the spirit. It's the soul of you. That's the only real of you. Because when you take the spirit out of the body, there's nothing left. It was all of you. So knowing and paying attention and learning more about and bringing yourself into harmony with the spirit that you are, with the soul that you are, is so important. Why? Because it's the only real of you. It's what you are. So yes, take the outer actions and do the things you need to do, learn what you need to learn, but at the same time, this is a call to interaction. Okay, you need to take the interaction. What is the interaction? The interaction is dealing with in the world of energy, dealing in the world of your thoughts and your feelings, dealing in the world of creation, not the reflection, which is in the form. So the reflections we see in the form are the results. That's the effect. That's the effect. We want to get dealing at the level of cause. So you tune your dial ever so slightly, and you go from static to the most beautiful music. You go from chaos and uncertainty to harmony and clarity. And this is what we want for you and yourself. And it's not going to come from something outside of you. It may show up in a form temporarily, but remember, everything outside is a reflection of what's inside. So what you want to do is practice and take the time to cultivate your true self, your true awareness of your infinite nature, of the larger you within yourself. And that's what the pebble in the pond is all about. That's what be still and know is all about. Because this part right here, be still and know, water drop. This part is automatic. I am. What is I am? I am is a reflection in a mirror. Show me in a mirror of form a reflection of my true self. Show me the goodness. Show me the well-being that abounds. Show me the abundance that abounds. Show me the love that abounds, because love is what we are. Show me that in life. Let me experience it in the forms of life so I can touch it, so I can see it, so I can smell it, so I can be it. So we can, as individuals, dance together in harmony, in unity, and reflect and celebrate and honor the magic of life. What happens, the I am, is automatic. That's the ripples unfolding in the fabric of space and time. Space and time. Creation, one still pond plus one vibrational light of being, water drop. 1 plus 1 gives birth to the child, gives birth to a reflection in form. The patterns, the water drops you've seen your whole life that show up in the little puddles around us as the rain falls. It's been there all along, and it will be there as long as we're here. Being still, cultivating emotions of our true being as our awareness expands. allows, just allows. We don't create it. We just allow it. We tune into it here. We tune into the vibration here. All at the same time, we're poised and present in the stillness of being, which allows this water drop, when it touches the surface, to just unimpededly reflect perfectly back the divine nature of the true you.